If you're looking to buy a house, if you're looking to sell your current house, it's the Bart Merrick team. Bart Merrick, Crystal Van, BartTheRealtor.com.
Well, the things are changing. We had Bart and Crystal in this week, and we were talking a little bit about buying and selling homes, and apparently we're seeing some prices go down. A little bit. A little things are changing out there, but it's ever changing. That's why it's important for you to get a good team on your side and make some plans, just like our listeners do day in and day out.
Yep, just like Ben did. He's on the line. How you doing, Ben?
I'm doing good, guys. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
How was your experience with the Bart Merrick team?
Man, it was awesome. Let me tell you. When we listed our home, we listed it close to Christmas. And it was a kind of a slow, nobody's buying a home around Christmas time.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we were living down in Polk County, too. So we originally reached out to Crystal to help us find a new home up near Orlando because we had an offer through one of those offer-up places that you find online. But when we got the final number back from them guys, it was like $50,000 less than what we wanted for it.
Oh, they pulled the old shimmy dog ham on you.
Yeah. They for sure did. So we reached back out. So during that time, Crystal was helping us find a new place. We reached back out, and then Bart came down and Crystal and took photos and listed our home. There were a couple times there where I thought, Bart called and said, hey, I need to speak with you guys. I was like, oh, he's going to tell us to drop the price. But every time he called and reached out, it was always, hey, I did the market research again. I still think you're priced right, so just hang in there. Eventually it's going to sell.
Bart's really good at that. He kind of specializes in that. Crystal told me that. Crystal's like, he has a good feeling for these type of things because they've both been doing it a very long time.
Yeah, hundreds and hundreds of our listeners' houses they've helped buy and sell, and that's where you're going to get is the extreme experience with two realtors working for you to get either the best price for your house or get you the best discount for the house
and they're
you're buying.
Both attractive.
I
like a good attractive realtor.
So Ben, I know this has nothing to do with the commercial, but why do you spell your name like that?
He didn't choose that.
My parents cursed me with his name. And I'm a junior on top of it.
You hear him call in all the time. It's Ben with a Y, and he always says it up front. He gets it out of the way.
I know, but when he said that, I didn't even think about why or because
full transparency. We read it. We're going to call you Benny.
I'm like, what the hell name is this?
Probably called Benet.
It did look like Benet.
I was going to call you Jean Benet, but then Tom said that is a very dark reference.
Why'd you mention that as a commercial?
Let me say this about it. They were able to get us within 2% of our asking price, which I think is phenomenal, man. They did a great job. Crystal helped.
Did you train this guy to get back on topic after my Jean Benet joke? This guy, Ben with a Y's got the goods. This guy's got a goddamn pro.
I got some notes written down, but I just wanted to stress, every time I thought we were going to drop the price, Bart said hang in there, and he got us almost.
Man, that's dope.
Near right on it. And
I'm really happy for you guys. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's always good to hear that people, got the good end of the stick,
Yeah, she found us a great townhome up in Altamont, and that's where we're at now, and we love it. Going from Polk County, where there's nothing within miles, to everything is within a mile.
Oh, God. If you're in Altamont, you have everything under the sun.
And that's another thing, too. If you're looking to sell your current house, move to a new place, buy it, they can help you through that process, plan it right.
They can do all of it.
And the planning is the most important part for time-wise for people moving. So, Ben with a Y, thanks so much for using the Bart Merrick team.
Yeah, thank you, man.
You can come in and watch the show anytime. Just hit us up. You got my cell phone number now, so let me know when you want to come in.
All right, we'll do. Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy. Take care. That is Ben from his brand new Altamont townhome.
It's the Bart Merrick team.
Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke-heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
is another A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Our wives are here. Hey, let's see if the blast is working. There we go. Yeah, give them a blast all over your face.
Andrew Dennis and Crystal Van are here.
Do you need to say our last names? Is it?
I
mean, like...
just let everybody know.
I gotta fix.
But the answer is no.
Yeah, yours
I can't hear myself.
You can't hear yourself? Hold on. Or you might have to adjust your headphones.
Well, you guys are very loud.
Yeah, we're the bosses. That's how I learned that.
Daniel's old school radio. You run our mics louder.
Yeah. So that way, when you guys start trying to overpower us, you can't.
Yeah, you turn it down.
You can't do it. Is that too loud now? I gotta fix your camera too.
Oh, it's fine. Whatever
we'll get it all
going. If you
going.
can hear me, I guess it makes sense.
Hey, welcome to the show, everybody, and thank you guys for being here. Thanks for doing a Wifecast.
I had a deja vu, like when the opening started, of like sitting back in our old house and you screaming, "Isley, shut up!" And
I miss that dog.
with all that like old school stuff.
Yeah, it was 15 years ago now,
I know,
maybe
it's
more.
Yeah,
actually.
if you really do think about the old studio, I would have to go. Wait, like we would be finishing. We'd be finishing at the radio station about. I don't know, like what, 2:30?
Yeah.
And then we'd head over with I'd find Dos Equis 12-pack on sale, whatever's on sale, and you get that, and you go home. And then I let out Isley, I let out Caesar. I put Isley in his kennel because he's a wild man. He would be, right. And then we get the beers, and then you come over, and then we start the show, right?
Yeah.
We started at it'd be earlier than that because we used to start at 2.
Got out of work at noon.
Yeah, we got it at noon and we start the show at 2. I'm messing up my own origin story.
Yeah.
I forget that we used to start the show at 2 p.m.
Yeah. That for a long time.
Yeah, for the longest amount of time, and we would do it there.
Don't your logos still say 2 p.m. somewhere?
Some of them do. All of our branding is very inaccurate. It shows the history.
Tom and Dan Cruise 2022.com.
Why don't we just stick with the TomandDanCruise.com and then just change it? Or Japanese gambling website.
Well, here's what happens. We own a lot of weird URLs. I own SwanFarts.com. I own OrlandoFarts.com. I own DumbOldMan.com.
Wasn't that a thing back in the day? Buy up all so then somebody can buy it from you.
Yeah, I'm still doing it.
Yeah, right.
And then you got and then we had Tom and Dan Cruise, but then we did the cruise, and then we rock that one until the pandemic?
Yeah, COVID, then you just let
and
it
then
go.
we were just we're all going to die.
We're never doing a cruise again.
Yeah. I don't recall.
Not worth the $10 a year.
I think I do remember having a conversation in this studio with you standing in that, because normally our conversations, you're standing in the doorway and I'm here doing something, and you were, and we were talking, and we were very confident that cruises will all go out of business. None of them will. No one will ever be cruising again.
Yeah, he was very confident about that. We had some friends who invested in the cruise industry.
Yes.
During that time.
I know that.
And we were like, I don't know, guys. You might be throwing your money away. Back and better than ever. Better than ever.
Why don't you invest in sweet tomatoes?
Okay.
So real quick, Manscaped. It's Father's Day weekend this weekend. So if
we're gonna do business now.
Want to order a present for your dad, you can still do that. Use our promo code TomandDan20 for 20% off your purchase.
It's Manscaped, now sold at Best Buy.
Well, don't tell them that. They'll just go to Best Buy.
They won't get the
use the code. It's a trap. They fell into my trap.
Nobody's going to
You're going to drive all the way up to Best Buy, and you're going to tell the young black teen, hey, Tom and Dan 20. You go, Tom and Dan what?
To
cut that part out.
But the Manscaped is good for the summer too. Get yourself, make sure you are.
Wow,
ready.
Why don't you follow your own advice? Holy smokes!
What was that?
Somebody over here is it looks like Patrick Mahomes down there.
No, come on.
I look around. There's a broccoli in my bed.
Come on,
broccoli head. She got the broccoli head, but it's an upside down broccoli head.
Oh, also June 22nd, we're doing our beer release at Hourglass Blue. Oh God!
This guy's drunk. I'm the one having a beer. I'm having a beer. I haven't had a beer on this show in a year or months, and I'm having a beer because it's birthday week.
Glass brewery.
It happens to all of us.
No, it's not brewery. It's brewing.
Okay, brewing.
I had a mouthful of beer. I couldn't say anything.
Anyway, that's on June 22nd, and we got Curtis Earth doing trivia. That's going to start around 5:30. So get there at 5. We'll be out there hanging out. We got some T-shirts. Eric will be selling some Get to Work shirts with the great art from Danger Brand.
Yeah, it's great branding. It's a a get-to-work red lager.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I'm in a lager.
I do like a red.
I'm in a lager phase right now, and I think most people are. If you're a beer person, beer's back, baby, and lagers are where it's at.
So, the Curtis Earth, can kids play? Because Maisie has always wanted to play the Curtis Earth trivia that's at the Current. She will go on a Monday.
Trivia.
She's like, "Can we stay
and I'm like,
play
it's 9:30,
trivia?"
baby. I was like, we're not staying to 9:30.
I think it's probably. I mean, Maisie is very smart.
And it's over her head. I know, but
Probably,
she wants to. I think she just wants to participate.
Yeah.
You don't need to say she's smart. She's an athlete.
She
knows
is very
what she
smart,
is. No,
though.
I don't think so.
Kids can play, but Eat My Wife's Pussy is going to be drunk as hell. And he will scream something inappropriate.
Oh, yeah. He was very drunk at the 10-year. No shade at all. He was just living his best life. I think he kissed my neck softly 75 times. He was having a great night.
Anyway.
And then you know what I liked about it? His wife looked at me, and I looked at her, and she gave me the little bit like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I love you, baby. You're good. You guys are family, man. When you're here, you're family.
So what is that?
Olive Garden, I think.
When you're here, your family.
Yeah. Oh, Morty Levinson, our old.
She was trying to be Italian.
Are you going to start doing your
No.
Oh, is Morty here?
No.
She can't do any voices. Maisie can. Maisie can do an Australian accent.
So Daniel texted me this morning and said, like, hey, I'm going to be running a little behind because we're picking up the Tesla X for this weekend because for your birthday and Maisie birthday weekend, you're renting a Tesla X.
This was Andrea's idea for, like, because I asked for nothing.
Right.
I get enough. I got a scooter kit I'm still working on. I'm paying a buddy to help me finish the wiring in it. Using that money to get my scooter going is a gift enough for me. Spending some time with my family, like trying not to be anxiety-ridden and just having a good time, that's enough.
Right. And what do you get for a guy that buys just if you want
whatever you want? Yeah, you buy.
Right. He buys it. So it's kind of a twofold. I was like, you know what? He loves his Tesla so much. He always talks about what it would be like to drive the SUV one. So I'm like, well, I'll go on Turo.
I think it's a great idea.
And we'll rent it.
It's out of the box, and it's not something I expected. I'll tell you that. It was not something I would have ever done. But it's cool.
But I got the Tesla X with the wing doors, and I got, I don't know, in Tesla speak, it's like the Plaid edition.
It's the fastest car made. It's the fastest one they make.
Got the full self-driving and everything. And I even talked with the guy about it.
It's got the Plaid badge on the back. There's a little badge that says Plaid. It's all full self-driving. I guess
I hadn't told him there was a Plaid edition because when he drove by to drop it off to us, he was like, "It's the Plaid. It's got the badge." And
I didn't act that gay.
Oh, you like it?
They dropped it off.
I do like it. Yeah.
Well, we met him at his work. So this guy, super nice. I think he has 4 or 5 cars on tour. He actually has a Cybertruck.
Yeah, this guy's got everything.
Renting out. Super nice. It was
too nice, actually. I don't expect people this wealthy to be this nice.
2 miles down the road, we just sat there, and then he drove it and parked it right in front of us, and then we walked around it, and he showed.
But he kind of knew. He's like, he's like, you already know all the stuff. He's like, yeah, get out of here.
So that's what we did for the weekend, and Maisie rode in that, and I followed them here to the office.
A little disappointing on the ride over to hear your daughter say everything about this car being she's just bucket loads better than anything you've ever had. It's like, oh God, it's so much cool. Oh my God, the seats are ventilated.
That's not disappointing. That's the point of it.
And I get a screen, and wow, it's got a stop. Yours is yours sucks.
We were trying to. I didn't know if you guys were leaving tonight. I was like, Daniel, you need to drive it over and show Max because I know Max is totally
he's obsessed with Teslas.
Well, this is a pretty normal ride. Okay, there are plenty of people within Orlando that are very wealthy that have this car. I think you can get one of these for between, I would say, at its worst or lowest, $65,000 to $100,000,
right,
somewhere in that range.
For somebody that we don't have this.
No, we do not have that money either. But can I go on there?
You got it.
Not to just baller buy one.
You can pull it out here, there. You got it.
No.
Put it together. You can put it together.
That's the Dan R, not the Dan L. The Dan R put it. That's what he did. My dad was the king of a little out of this safety deposit box, and I'm going to sell this motorcycle, and I got this deal on the side. My dad had so many hidden bank accounts. Am I lying?
No.
That when he died, my mom was getting money from places she didn't know that.
She's like, where's this coming from?
Now, granted, it did come to her, but I don't believe for a second that he set up those accounts secretly like, I'm doing this for my wife. I think he was doing it, so he had motorcycle money hidden.
Yeah. You don't need your old lady looking at all your finances.
He was a classic boy.
So I'm pretty proud that I thought of this for him for his birthday weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Right.
It is creative. It doesn't break the bank. You try before anything. Maisie loved it. That made my heart swell.
I even told him, I said, so we're doing Maisie's birthday tomorrow. She turns 9 tomorrow, and we rented a cabana out at a hotel, and I'm taking some of her friends. And that's kind of the reason I also did it, is because originally I was taking too many that would fit in my car. So I'm like, I need a bigger car. But so I said, you don't even have to sit at the cabana. Like, just go drive it. Go enjoy yourself. Like, I know he just loves driving or having the car drive him. So I'm like, I'll hang out.
I don't know what that means, though. What does that mean about me when I just like to sit and be driven around? Does that mean I'm a Miss Daisy? Yeah. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that make me? Because I do like that when people.
And you do like saying the N-word.
Oh, God.
My God, only in my rap songs.
You like the service.
I like it in my raps.
Yeah.
There's actually an article, I think, that I put on my Facebook this week that coming out that people like just sitting in their car because it's a box where you have no really responsibility. And this is not just having something drive you, but you're like away, a quiet car. You can just sit there and breathe for
being away from my wife and daughter
and her friends.
It's like an escape pod for your family. You just get in and you blast yourself off.
But yes, thank you so much. I appreciate. I was very surprised. I wouldn't have thought of that. It's a pretty creative, and you know what? It goes along the lines of like what you guys do. It's a little bit more experience-y than it is like, hey, we bought you something. It's more of a like, hey, you and your kid get to ride in something you don't have and experience something you don't know how to do. So that's cool. I like it.
I like it too. I'm all about the experience.
Yeah, I'm proud that you guys are affecting us in that way.
You should rent a Cybertruck and drive Max around.
You in a Cybertruck, dude, shirtless with an American flag bandana? That'd be fucking awesome, man.
I will have Daniel drive Max around in his Tesla and save me $500, and he'll be just as happy.
That's pretty smart.
So I got one thing. And
is that the thing you want me to?
Yeah. And this is just, everybody, when we said we were doing Wifecast today, people were like, let's see, Tom's going to do his gripes, and I'm tired of it, right? There's no reason to attack Crystal.
Oh, my gosh, turning a leaf.
She is...
it is the first thing you said.
There's a huge butt coming. You got to give me one good one at least.
Bring out the butt.
No. And so, anyway, I just thought I had some observations.
Oh.
That
you can't just relabel it.
What? Well, you can't.
cannot just rebrand.
No, that's where you're wrong. As long as you have an AI-generated theme song, you can relabel anything.
And then I made a theme song.
Now, hold on. Before the listeners all rebel, because I know, and I forgot to say at the beginning of the show, we are a 100% AI-free podcast. We want to make sure everybody knows that. Tom came to me and he's like, I wrote an AI song. I'm like, no, you didn't. He's like, I wrote it.
Did you have one tear fall down your cheek?
Did he really?
I didn't believe it. Yes, he did. You want to hear Tom's AI song?
By writing an AI song, I wrote 2 sentences.
No, we wrote more than that.
I'm like, put this in there.
No, he wrote more than that. He wrote more than that. And I figured the listeners would go because they're hearing it from you. They'd be like, well, hold on a second. We've heard Dan and all these, and Dan, because I have I do have a weird love-hate relationship with it, and I'll explain quickly before we get to your song. And I think you figured it out. It's like when I was listening to I Like Her Better with Her Plain Clothes On, the song that I did as you for the listeners, right? When I was listening to that took me days to do. There are parts in there that I manipulated or sang over myself that I do, and then I didn't have any voice. So I was like, I'll come back and do it tomorrow. So when I see AI do this so quickly, there is a strange appreciation I get because I do it.
I would think the opposite would be true.
No,
that you'd be mad. I put the effort and the thought and the time, and this just whips it up like that.
But you're writing the lyrics, right? And so you're still
I am, but we're not going to linger on it. But so here's Tom's. This is Tom's.
It was just
is it a love ballad?
No, it's just an intro to my observations.
When I asked him this morning,
this is Drunky's 1 minute of comedy.
When I asked him this morning, he said he wanted hard rock. It's even hard rock. So here we go.
Okay.
Wow.
These are just observations. They are not just rights. These are just
me live my goddamn life. And he's like, wow.
Hey, I added that. I didn't write that.
Let me live my goddamn life.
It felt what I wrote. And then I was like, I'm gonna add this in, buddy. You need to put this in.
My goddamn.
It sounds like you need to yell a little bit.
Oh, my God.
Anyway.
Heated me up
I'm on board.
a bit. Wow.
Observation 1.
Karen just said we won the best. We got the best.
I'm in the pool, and then I'm just living my life.
Living your goddamn life.
You realize I'm going to have to write that song as him now to put out the fire, right?
And then the boys are in there playing. I'm just having a good time with my family, and then I see Crystal swatting around at her face. And then I'm like,
she's
what's
got
happening?
fly snappers like Lena. You got to get out the pills.
Is she in the pool as well?
Yeah, she's in the pool. And then she's like, there's goddamn gnats in here all around my face.
That's what old men say.
And then she's like, I think it's these plants. And this has happened before where she's blamed my plants on random problems.
Yeah, but your plants here have shit flies everywhere. That plant in the corner. That plant in the corner has been shit flying.
No, it's one
Who
plant.
has to sit in front of the goddamn screens and edit? And I can't edit because there's so many fucking shit flies.
Yeah, it's like these little tiny, like, almost invisible, like, things just flying around your eyelashes. And I'm like, get me out of here.
Lunch you throw away every day.
Crystal Van, they might be from me. Crystal Van, are they the bugs that when you touch them, they disintegrate?
I don't know. They're too fast. I can never get them.
These shit flies, sometimes I get them because I can't stand it anymore. I just start slapping my iMac.
So then it happens inside the house, too, where she's like, there's bugs in here. It's these plants. You gotta get rid of them. Yeah, she's just blaming my plants.
I don't think you have to get... I don't want you to get rid of them. I just think...
Oh, chat room. Flies in your eyes. Mr. Tom Man rules the skies. Okay, sorry. I just had to say
There's like a maintenance maybe or a spray or like a...
How about a white vinegar?
Wow, a spray.
What about a white vinegar?
Maybe there's too much water in the soil. I don't know, but they flare up every now and then.
Do they get you? Do the gnats get you?
No, I don't know. I mean, there's some gnats, but they're outside gnats.
But they're just in my eyelashes.
Does a dog with shit on its ass notice the shit on its ass?
So then it seems to be a personal attack at my plants.
It's not.
Hold on
Are
a second.
you so sensitive?
Wait a minute. I support this. If you're emotional about your plants, then I think I support this exchange.
So then
you got to support him being emotional about something.
Exactly. God, it's almost like we're all talking to each other in our mind.
I look even further because I'm like, plants are like nature, right?
Yeah. All right.
And then Crystal loves nature,
nature.
because
what the hell happened to you last night? He's a crazy human today.
No, because Crystal also makes me get rid of my K-cups that I like that I put in my coffee.
Whoa. You have to back up. What happened?
Why? It was just an experiment, and we're not done with the box yet, so we're just gonna see.
The K-cups are too wasteful.
Oh, so she made you put your own coffee in the gross one where you have to dump it in the sink. Yeah, it's a mess.
And so every morning I have to put the own coffee grounds.
And it doesn't work. It tastes like garbage.
Well, I don't notice the taste of anything, so that's not the problem. It's just then getting the old coffee grounds into the trash. I tap it. Then Crystal's like, I hear tapping in there.
Is it true?
Can't they use the coffee grounds in your plants?
Going along with observations.
Maybe that'll get rid of the nuts.
Like you can use.
Oh my God! I think she may have solved it. Put the coffee grounds in the plants. Just going along with observations, I have heard this is the second time this week that I've heard that he is not allowed to walk in the mornings or tap.
No,
like he says that if there's any noise or cabinetry, or if a fork falls in the sink, that a swamp witch comes out and starts screaming at him.
I never say anything. Never say anything.
You've mentioned multiple people how loud I am in the mornings. This is a topic that comes up.
Okay, but the tapping, I think, is specifically about the peanut butter spoon.
I knew there was something. You held out. You didn't tell me about peanut butter spoon.
Okay, all right. He gets a scoop of peanut butter and puts it in the smoothie.
PB2, dude. PB2.
Cup.
Why don't you use the powder peanut butter?
Powder peanut butter, less fat.
Anyway. Well, he's there.
I want
like this with the peanut butter spoon.
Yeah, you'll have to.
Why? Why don't you just take your finger?
Take your finger. Right. Okay.
Just put it in your mouth. You're done. Just put it in there.
No, and then he puts the whole dirty peanut butter in on the spoon, just in the sink. So then it hardens, and then later when I have to wash it,
It hardens.
Yeah. So then I'm like, first of all, you're tapping out here, And then I got to clean. Just use your finger and go like that.
Well, here's why I don't use my finger. Because
I'm not allowed to use my fingers.
This is another thing the Van family has adopted. Beyond we didn't have a meeting about it. We didn't have there's no decisions. It was just all of a sudden one day.
You're ruining my birthday broadcast.
Crystal proclaimed that our household is now a reusable napkin household, and then we are no longer
dirty paper napkins.
Supposed to use paper towels. And
what do you use to wipe your mouth?
Because Crystal brought home a bunch of reusable napkins.
A bunch of rags? They're called rags. They're not reusable. Napkin is a rag. That's what my dad used to check a oil. You put it you wrap it around your blender if it's too loud.
They're Swedish dishcloths, and they're not meant to replace the paper towels entirely, but you can wipe and reuse. You can wash them in the washing machine and then use them again over and over. So it's not to use it for your mouth, but if you spill something on the counter or you just want to spray the counter down and clean it, you don't have to use paper towels that are going to the trash.
We
reuse the towel.
Well, then I have this, but we don't use it. Okay, we do both. We do napkins for food, and then if we're cleaning the surfaces, I have a whole stack of IKEA cloths.
The 10-cent
Swedish napkins, I guess.
Yeah.
That are the ones that are white and red, and I use those to wipe down all the surfaces.
Takes normal things and then makes me sound crazy for doing them.
I mean,
So, but what does that have to do with your peanut butter?
I think we started somewhere else, then got to the peanut butter. Now we're on napkins.
Guys, these are just observations.
I'm just telling you what I observed.
That's right.
I'm just sitting here and I'm just observing. And now I'm just reporting back to you guys.
The gold star today.
Did you hear the intro? These are just observations.
Yeah, they are not great.
Yeah. And
I told him the coffee thing was, I just wanted to try it out. And if it was a pain and you hate it, then that's fine. You can use the K-Cups. But if it was just as convenient to use the reusable one, why not? That's all.
But he doesn't notice, so he'll just go with it.
But
right?
I don't know. But we haven't gotten to the bottom of the canister of coffee I bought. So when we get to the bottom of it,
he can go back.
You can decide, like a big boy, what is best for you.
Can you recycle K-Cups? Isn't there can you recycle them?
No, apparently
they don't recycle anything. Those recycling guys just throwing it in the trash.
Apparently, K-Cups you cannot recycle. Jim Colbert told me that I should switch to Nescafe. Espresso, Nespresso. He said I should.
Because those are aluminum, right?
They're aluminum, and then they give you a canister, and then you put them all in the canister, and you ship it back to them, and then they.
That's what I'm doing for
my.
So I have daily contacts, and I hated the thought of the wasteful just throwing away the holder.
Yep.
So I have them in a bag, and I take them back to my optometrist.
Guaranteed, they don't do shit.
So you take them back.
I tell her every time she does. I go. The guy takes it. He's
like, ew.
He's like, hey, did you go throw away the contacts? The scam we're running to make me. And that goes. I'll do it. And he goes out there and he throws it away. Guaranteed.
Yeah, and speaking of waste, I often
look at me?
Do the dishes in the house, and sometimes I open the dishwasher, and then what's inside seems like a dishwasher full of plastic. What other people would consider garbage.
Lies.
There are containers. There are
my soup stuff.
All any plastic container that we get throughout the month or whatever. Crystal's like,
like an old Italian grandma?
Yes,
you were saying like an old thing
butter.
Like if you get a to
Mrs.
go pho.
Yeah, I keep those.
I keep them because I love to make soup, and I love to make my broth, and so
I've never seen you eat broth ever.
I use it to cook the rice or the pasta or whatever.
I use water.
I know, but it's like I could just take you cut the end off the carrots and freeze it.
No, I get it. I get what you're doing. I'm not anti it at all.
I do keep the soups.
I thought you were keeping like an old ricotta cheese.
No, my grandma used to do that.
Ricotta cheese.
Oh, there's
butter.
Ricotta in there. There's a lot of plastic.
A lot of ricotta.
Because then I take them and I put them inside each other like Russian nesting dolls.
And they're all wet. Every single one of them.
That's what I do too. I put cups away wet, so when you go to get one, you can't.
And then I go over to where we keep our Tupperware, and there's piling in a plastic.
So when you open it, it all falls out.
Yeah. And I'm like, there's a lot of garbage in here that we're just washing and reusing. I'm like, this is kind of crazy. This is what I think in my head. It's just an observation.
I'm observing this.
He says the same thing about the playroom. He's like, there's too much stuff in here. There's so much stuff in here that it doesn't fit in all the stuff. But then I just go and spend a couple hours in there and put everything away where it goes. And it's perfectly clean and everything fits. If you put it away where the home is for that item, there's plenty of space.
So then, while I'm
same as my Tupperware,
he's powering through.
While I'm not using my K-cups and then washing the plastic garbage and then reusing the reusable napkins and all that stuff, I think to myself, I was like, you know what? I wonder if I made it my life's goal to pollute the world. like if I was the evil genius,
like Terrence Howard, you're going to destroy mankind.
Yeah, if I was like, hey, what if I just from the today on, I was like, I'm going to make it my goal to pollute the earth
falling
as much
down, like the movie Falling Down.
Just making sure.
What, just to counteract my efforts?
No. Just I bought oil I'm pouring it down the drain. My whole life, my 40 hours a week, I just polluted.
You made that your job.
I don't think I'd ever affect the earth 1%.
So you're trying to show her that in reverse, you're doing nothing.
Yeah, in reverse, during the worst possible thing, like I'm just starting tire fires and oil.
This is the worst thing you could tell her. I just saw the love fall out of her eyes.
I'm just saying, I would not affect the earth one bit.
I regret that 1:30 a.m. wake up call from last night.
Wait, what happened?
How dare
come
you?
on.
What happened?
I wish I could take it back.
Oh, did you sleep rape her again?
No, what the hell? Jesus Christ.
Well, no, don't you get forgetful handsy?
No. That was a younger man. That was a different.
You start grabbing, unconsciously grabbing?
Yeah. Now it's just like, I was just there. I'm like, what was the time?
She's here.
Is it finally time?
I don't get to do it. I have a full line of pillows that belongs to my wife.
She's like, all right.
We put the one pillow right in the middle of us, so
I have a pillow in the middle, and then I have my dog next to me sitting up like a king, and he breathes in my ear, and that calms my anxiety. And we sit there. I'm like, I love it. He's just breathing in my ear.
She opens the drawer all mad, and I'm like, it doesn't bother me you're mad about it. I can fight right through that. Anyway, sorry. Those are my observations.
Okay, those are great.
Wow. That was quick.
A couple observations.
Well done.
Right.
Yeah, those are good.
I had some more, but I'll cut those off. Lots more. Anyway, we should take a break. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we have lots of stuff to talk about.
Too many things.
Andrew's got some listener questions.
I printed Facebook.
Yeah,
some
she
BDM
printed
questions.
some Facebook. Have you guys seen the documentary that's on Hulu about the real-life Truman Show?
No.
It's called The Contestant. I'm just throwing that out there for everybody. We might discuss that a little bit. It's about a show, I think, that was in Asia in the early 2000s that was ethically should not have happened, probably. Yeah, there's a documentary about it on Hulu now.
I also have a story about Max's Fortnite name, and then a running story from yesterday. So we'll tell it all.
We got brand new music. Let's start with some punk rock. We're going to do "Suck Brick Kid" with "It's Okay," and then brand new music, live music from Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. You'll like it. We'll be right back. This is "It's Okay," possibly by Suck Brick Kid. We'll be right back. You know, our buddy Dan Stone had a friend of ours from Secured Roofing up on his roof, sniffing around up there. Apparently, Dan's getting prepared for possible storms coming.
Yeah.
So
I know there's been hail and stuff. And
I think he has a little damage that wasn't severe, but now that it's looking like we are going to get storms, he's like, better to be smart. Take care of it before you get a leak or something bad.
And if you do have damage, that's what I did. A bad hailstorm hit my house. I called Secured. They came up there. I didn't even notice. I got up there. I was like, looks fine. But they're like, no, you have 1,000 micro dents.
That storm was really bad.
This will lead to leaks, and it'll be way worse. And that's what they do. It's free. They come inspect your roof, and they'll let you know if you have a problem. And if maybe you have an old roof, maybe you're selling your house, and you need to replace your roof before you sell it, they'll work with you, and they'll replace the roof, and then you can pay for it during closing. So that way it doesn't, if you don't have the money out of pocket to do that.
A little more convenient.
Yeah, it makes it convenient
for sure.
Yeah. And then again, if there's a storm that comes through and you think you have damage, just call Secured Roofing and Solar.com. They'll come and inspect it for free. Also offer 24 to 48 hour emergency tarping services.
If that's something
if there is damage,
if you got that worst case scenario, they can get out there and help you out.
And if you're interested in any solar, give them a call. It's securedroofingandsolar.com.
Me First and the Gimme Gimmes with an Olivia Rodrigo cover. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom. So Andrea asked on the BDM page for some questions today, and she printed some out.
I did.
So let's do some questions from BDMs.
Okay. So first one, have you ever had a bad fan, I would say listener experience or interaction?
Who's that for? I wonder.
They just threw it out. I said any questions. So
it's for everybody.
Yeah, let's.
A bad. I don't like the term.
That's
fan.
what I said. Listener interaction.
Yeah, that's weird.
I will tell you, in the radio days, it was way worse.
Yeah. Why is that? Because that is definitely true.
I was wondering if you were going to open that. And I never got called short more than my radio tenure.
I think this is a little more intimate.
Yeah.
I think social media opened your guys' lives to be a little more intimate. The radio days, you were a little more, like... famous.
Were nice radio listeners, though. But not like, I mean, Crystal brought me cookies and tequila.
Correct. But
there
that's
are
what I'm
listeners that will
saying.
go and do that's
a lot of the radio stuff was pre-social media, so they didn't have this peek into your lives. So I think some people lost their minds when they met you, and they were like, here,
Well, there's also a wider spectrum of listener, and what we found that with this show and with all shows now, because there's so much content, if you're listening to a show, you want to listen to it, especially like a podcast. Like you clicked on it, you want to listen. With terrestrial radio back in the day, if you liked talk radio, there was only one station. There was one option. So there was a lot of people that liked talk radio and different types, but they were forced to listen to the one option. Therefore, there were a lot of people that weren't as like-minded as our listeners are now. Like you had a wide variety of people. Some people that were out there, and then also crazy people tend to listen to the radio.
And they think you're talking to them.
Yeah.
Well, I hope this doesn't come off like sort of mean, but I've been doing this long enough to compare like the events that we used to do radio-wise, and then like I'll take the Tuffy event that we did for our ACT tenure at when we were hanging out with listeners at Tuffy's. Yeah. That was so easy. Like, we talked to that one guy. Everybody's having a good time.
Kind of like the 903 Mills days.
Yeah,
like
it's just so easy. Like, it is way easier to... It's a lot of work, don't get me wrong. But, like, I started to not like some of the radio things because the interactions you would have with people weren't as directed, weren't as focused. They were more like just because the radio station had an event, some of these people would stop by and then...
they felt entitled to you to give them something.
Like, I don't know. It's weird. Different relationship.
Yeah, and I think Andrea's point of it being maybe it's not all like it's radio versus podcast, but like it's 2000 to 2010 versus 2010 to now.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not like I'm afraid to say if you're listening to the radio, you're annoying or bad fan or whatever. No. And if you're listening to podcasts, you're more chill. It's just a matter of like that happened to be the time frame that you guys were in. But
So what about for you guys? Have you ever had any inappropriate they grab at your titties?
Well, yeah, because there's a
I'd watch that. I would watch someone grab Andrea's titties, and it would turn me on, and then I'd realize I'd have to fight them too. So I would try to figure out how to jack it. How do you jack it and then fight them?
Daniel, there was a follow-up question by a different person, kind of in the same vein, but creepy listener interaction stories, maybe someone hitting on you or palming you drugs at events. I think
palming the drugs, yes.
Really? I've never had.
Oh, yeah.
They would
them, but I never had.
We got our share of drugs.
I've never gotten cocaine. I've only gotten pain pills and weed.
I think
you got cocaine.
Yeah,
you got cocaine.
Because I think you made jokes about it, maybe. So then, like at Mako's,
yes.
people would always come up with a little baggie and shake his hand, and then a baggie would fall on the ground because he wasn't like.
Do you want me to tell you which prominent Orlando businessmen that still own bars were giving him cocaine?
No.
Because they're out there.
Not on this mic.
They're out there.
I don't want.
They're probably not in the coke game anymore, but for a minute, like everybody I knew downtown that owned a bar is cocaine cowboys, dog.
Right. The only weird, and it wasn't even an interaction. It was the person that left weird stuff on our porch at the old house.
That was Wes Wally. That was our old intern. And that's because he got a psychotic episode.
Well,
like that's like he broke, and then he drove over, and then he hung a dog tag on my door that said Marvin the Martian, the Widow. It makes Tom laugh. Like
so weird.
It just said Marvin The Martian.
This is on the back of a dog tag.
Yeah, it's so imagine.
Did we have something else left on our porch? Like those kind of things when people come to
one
your
time
house.
I made a joke, and then there's somebody left a firefighter shirt on my. I made a joke about firefighters, and then somebody left a firefighter shirt on my doorstep. And then was like, "Don't fuck with the red," or something like, "Yeah, don't fuck. You want to act? You will let your house burn to the ground, midget," or something. I don't know. It was something like very like. And then I was like, "Oh, you just gave me one, so I know what department you're at." Like, so like you left me the shirt, and you like threatened me. You know,
I know the station you work at.
Yeah. So
yeah, those were like the only like weird things. Was
We had that one decorating our house.
Yeah.
Somebody put Halloween decorations up while I was at home asleep. And then I was like,
in Deltona?
No, at Colton Drive.
Harriman Alley.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, it started with
they were on the roof.
they were on the roof.
Yeah, and I'm like in there sleeping.
It started with a alien, like a plywood alien head that someone painted, like the stereotypical
work, man.
big alien. And
you find it at a head shop.
Yeah, and they painted it, and it was like 4 feet tall, and they just leaned it up on my garage door.
That'll do.
And so I remember taking a picture of it, and I talked about it on the radio, like, look at someone put it in front of the house.
We never found out who did that, right?
No. And then, but if you did that, call in. I would have done.
Yeah, it's always been a mystery.
But and then after that happened, and I talked about it, then that made it worse. That's where I learned a valuable lesson of like, if you don't want someone to do something to you, don't talk about how you don't dislike this particular, because everybody will do it to you.
Yeah.
So then the next day they decorated my whole house like Halloween, and they're on the roof, and like there was like spiders on the roof. So it's like the whole.
You never saw these people. You slept through it, or did you hear them?
He left to work at 5 a.m. and it wasn't decorated. And then when I woke up and went to work at whatever time it was, the sun was out. It was all decorated. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I was in there showering or sleeping. I mean, I don't know when they were doing it, but it's just kind of weird to be like at your home and then some.
Now
I was up there kicking the spiders off the roof.
Very early on when I was working for the radio station and didn't have the podcast, I did have one person pull in front of my old apartment on Goddard over here off of Lee Road.
Yeah.
A pretty nasty area. And pull in with a big truck and be like, I know where you live. I got one of those.
Yeah.
But I was out there. So I was like, I guess you do. There's not much you can do about that. And plus the internet wasn't a big enough thing. There was less, I think there was less natural paranoia.
Right. Yeah.
We spread a lot more paranoia now, and so I think we have it kind of running in the background, just like an app.
I got a listener took his gun out and put it in my ribs one time. And
somebody in the chat room said that. That's right. Somebody in the chat room said that one.
Yeah, it was kind of a person we knew, and he was just fucking around, but I was slapping it away. And then
you gotta remind me about that story. Oh,
his wife had big fake tits.
Yes.
Oh,
I was just saying, we were staying at a hotel, and then I felt something in my ribs.
Yeah, but he was serious. He was mad at you about something.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't shoot it.
This guy,
he was just like, he's like, look at that, I'm pointing his gun at you.
It was like bubbling. It was bubbling over misplaced anger from his own
something like that. But
indiscretions.
A guy put your gun into your ribs, and you're like, it's fine. Like, you cannot make this guy fucking mad about.
Yeah. Someone came behind me at Amway one time and put me in a chokehold, like the serious one where you grab your
where you're at. You're at what is it? It's the one they
American
put Sabrina
Combat
in. You're
Club.
at American Combat Club.
Yeah, he put me in the Sabrina, and I remember like hard as hell where he was actually like choking me out for a second. Where I was like
pushing on that. Yeah,
and there was just some guy fucking around. He's like, drunkie, and then I was like,
You know what somebody did to you at Johnny's once? A very big person, tall, picked you up and carried you to somewhere. And
then you sucked his dick. That's the old man in the Mustang. He sucked that old man's dick at the Johnny's Burger Bash.
No, I didn't.
Really made me mad because, sometimes well-meaning.
Well, where were you when I'm getting picked up every 5 seconds? People pick me up. People pick me up. They start carrying me around like a doll baby.
Pick up another man or that's so. Anyway, I think well-meaning people sometimes are like, oh, Crystal, you want me to help you get your drunk husband out of here? Here, I'll help you. And I'm like, please, I just want you to go away so that I can get my drunk husband out of here because you talking to him
I'll put this
makes
out
it
there.
Worse.
You could do anything to me.
Do not.
anything.
Well, he might not get mad, but I am, and I'm not afraid to fight.
If you,
Whoa!
I am not kidding.
If you see me out, you can do anything to me you want. I have no boundary. I have zero boundaries.
Yeah,
so
keep your hands off the meat.
It might not be interactions, but I mean, I observed a lot of crazy shit back in the like radio days, from like just staying at Bruce Rossmeyer's cruises.
I remember one time.
Monster cruises,
And I've just been wanting to say this. I don't think I've said this before. I don't think I've said this before, but I've been wanting to say this.
Hungry Howie.
I remember one time watching a door open.
Great dick.
And there were naked women on a bed, and then Bubba Whoop-Ass Wilson doing a giant line of coke.
So why was you saying that?
Yeah.
Because
it's cool. It's kind of cool. It's a little cool. It's a little cool.
It is rock star.
Yeah, there were two naked girls.
There was
with
a
their
time he
titties out.
was super.
Oh, he was the party man,
famous in Central Florida.
Now, cocaine didn't kill him. I'm just saying he was killing it.
So there was just so much back in the day that like.
We saw.
We're like, what?
Saw some crazy things.
You could come up to me and flick the head of my dick.
You're not.
I will not.
Watch out now.
Fight you.
Yeah, you do like old men do. Like,
I'll just swat it away.
Careful there. Move along.
Here's another one. Hanging out with each other, all family members involved. What has ever bothered you, but you refuse to mention this to the other party due to being such a great friend? Once in a while, family and friends just do shit that pisses us off. Sometimes we address our pet peeves, but so many people just let it slide. And you let things slide. Does it remind you, I should have said something?
Does that mean like between us?
Is there anything that we do that
like if I wasn't going to mention it then, I'm not going to mention it now, guys?
I can throw it in reverse. I mean, I think I know
But are we talking about like our personal families and stuff? Are we talking about this group?
I think they mean in general this group. I mean, I can throw it in reverse and I can tell you what I think it would bother you, and what I've tried to work on is me being so adamant about the schedule. It's the schedule. It's got to stay the schedule. Never miss the schedule. And I've really trying to go a little more gently with it.
Well, because I think us being very much planners and you guys kind of flying by the seat of your pants, I could totally see you guys being like, God damn, the Dennis family. I wish they would just...
Yeah, just relax, motherfucker.
Because I've started to become more of a planner now.
And I've started to become more of a...
They show up too early. They always have to know what's going on.
I do tell her that. I say, come on, man, lay off of them. Right. Just like with the whole, like, gotta be there at the time. You know, just like, let's be late. Let us be late.
No. I didn't know what to expect. As long as that's the thing about. So here's like,
because I think you guys would get to a point where you're like, this is not fun to hang out with these two people. God damn! So that's why I am really working hard.
I even think about that, like when I was texting you last week about the beach. Like, hey, I was like, God, she's gonna be like, just enjoy it. Like, just go and enjoy.
Shut the fuck up, Andrea.
I was just trying to give you the right time because I try to add 15 minutes to my estimate when I give it to you.
No, you guys were early boat in the water. The dentists are dragging their asses because I'm trying to be cool.
I definitely think that you guys have probably, there's been many a times where you show up and then worse.
You got to wait for us. That must be really annoying.
Not anymore.
Crystal still
you guys don't do that anymore.
I don't know. Crystal, I mean, I've been standing at the front door ready to leave, and Crystal's like, hold on, I'm going to put a new pair of pants on and then add a more.
I like that. I want to be that.
I'm going to add more to the pile that I have to move every night before I go to bed.
I want to be that. I want to do that.
Well, no, because Daniel's the type that he's like walking out the door and Macy's like, I gotta poop, and he's like, nope, you should have pooped 5 minutes ago. Let's go.
Like in the mornings, I try to I've been trying to slow my mornings down because I'm so regimented and just like get the work. I'm like, no, relax, dude.
I accept all my friends for all the annoying things they do and the crazy. And as long as I know what to expect.
You're not a judgmental person at all. I'm horribly judgmental.
I know how Daniel and Andrea are like. They were if they're gonna be somewhere, they're gonna be there 5 minutes early, ready to go, prepared.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's good for me because I know if you came late, unprepared, I'd be like, what the?
We'd be like, what? Are you okay? What happened to you?
I'm like, no. You have to fit into your box.
And trust me when I tell you, sometimes I'm counting on both of you to level out her because she's more regimented than I could ever be. So when I'm with you guys, I feel like, we're going to have some fun today. Now, sorry, babe. But
it's
you know what I mean by that, right?
Prepared.
But you know what I mean by that, right? Like, I'm not insulting you in any way. We've had this conversation before about like, God damn, why can't we relax?
Well, and it's funny you say that because my sister-in-law is pregnant and she texted me, so I said, I had Maisie. She was 2 weeks early, and she's like down to her last. And she was like, I'm hoping this baby has that show up extremely early blood that it runs through your dad and your brother and you. So she knows it's in our family.
Yeah. It's 100% Jim. It's Jim 100%.
Now, the exact opposite of that is our friends, the Browns, who are almost on a completely different time than everybody else.
I love that.
Pacific time.
Yeah, no, it's like, hey, we're leaving in 5 minutes to go, somewhere, and then it's like, okay, well, instead of buying food out, let's eat here, and then like they prepare food. And I'm like, we were going to leave for 5 minutes. We can start cooking. What are they doing?
Heat the oil.
Like, wait a minute. You're frying up some stuff here.
Eggs. Yeah. Sitting there mushing.
Delicious.
We were telling Audrey, and Audrey's like, we're every place we go, we're 1 hour late. I'm like, well, why even have time then?
How do they show up to work? And
that is not work.
That's different.
They
That's
work
different.
at school.
Yeah.
But that is like a South Florida thing. Like, you don't show up on time. You show up 1 hour after the time. And we joked this week about how TC and I took the boys to a birthday party that the invitation said 2:00 up here.
Yeah.
And we showed up at 2:00 at a park, and people were like,
oh yeah,
why are you doing it so early? And they were setting everything up, like they were still putting the tablecloths out.
Yeah, the grandma was there. Like they were like, "What the hell are you people doing
and
here?"
And then everybody else arrived at 3.
Yeah. They knew the time.
They knew that 2:00.
And I was like, I knew we should have showed up this early to Jose's birthday party.
If we
were, like, this is a different thing.
If we were in Kendall, I would have known that, but I didn't know that.
Right, you thought up here.
I thought it was different.
I figured that out with parties you would go to that were more Spanish or Hispanic or Latin.
Yeah, it was a Jose.
Well, where the food would be like, I go there, I'm hungry, like I want to arrive and eat, and it's like, nah, we just put the meat on.
Yeah,
like, it's going to be a minute.
We started cooking at the time.
Yeah. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? It's not show up and get a plate and leave. You're here for the duration,
Yeah.
Like,
all right.
What are your favorite hobbies we might not know about? I think we guys, we're a pretty open book.
Yeah,
I mean,
you guys already know all.
I'll share some things that people may think are just dumb or not true. I get caught a lot, and this is I'm not trying to be funny. I get caught a lot by the family. Before my showers, I like to sit nude and play my spoons.
He does.
Because they're there. They're just like, as I disrobe and I put my wallet.
He's
and
letting the shower warm in the bathroom?
No, my spoons are by my bed. Like, I have like my Martin guitar that I love playing my guitar at night. That's my favorite thing to do before I go to bed.
You do that
right?
naked too.
Yeah, I do that naked too. I love playing instruments naked.
Do you sleep naked?
No, I sometimes I do. Sometimes I do, but I get so many boners. I get like 6 to 7 boners.
It's more boners if you're naked?
I just get a lot of boners, and I prefer having pants on them to hold them controlled.
Got it.
But yeah, I play my spoons naked. I get and I'm getting so good now. Like, I know I filmed a video of me playing the spoons.
We gotta show you now.
Honestly, no bullshit. I think I might be as good as the people that call themselves pros, and I have the magic. Like, I think I'm the guy.
You may have discovered a secret.
I was doing this move where I put it on my elbow and then my leg, so you only have a little inch, and I can go and then I can go like I can give it like a rat.
Take a new video with you with clothes
Was
on.
I not? And Maisie's like, whoa! Like, they came around the corner, like, how are you doing that? I'm, like, I'm the spoon guy. I'm little Danny Spoons.
Wasn't there a Counting Crows song about the Spoon Man?
No, that was a Soundgarden.
Soundgarden.
Oh, you're such a grandma.
Put all the lyrics to Spoon Garden.
Oh, you're such a grandpa. You did the grandma. Oh my God, grandpa are here.
Spoon Garden.
Damn it, so perfect. Melissa, where
should
are
be
you?
your band name is the Spoon Garden.
Come together with your hand. Okay.
This is the oldest we've ever sounded on the show.
Who would be more bitter in the divorce, and they want us to show our work, meaning, like, explain why you would be so bitter?
Oh, I'd be the one that's like, if I'm married to anybody, I'm bringing hell. Like, bringing
Daniel and Crystal are going to be
TC and
I are like,
oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up so bad you have no
So bad.
The most vindictive shit you've ever seen.
You have never known.
And I will weaponize that child, and I will literally use every move you make. I'm 9 ahead of you with indoctrination. And
Absolutely.
you love me. I'll tear your fucking life apart. I'll destroy your existence, and I will use her against you. And I will you will rue the day you ever fucked with me, bitch.
You know what's funny is that he and I both assume the divorce is your fault.
Because we're awesome.
Because I will never. I mean, you'll never see your
child
again. You'll never see your kids.
You'll never see your kid again.
What? No.
I'll see him.
I'll tell them.
I'll park outside the school.
We'll help each other hide each other's kids.
I'll sit outside the school and watch them. I've seen that in the movies.
I'm going to tell them
That's the saddest move.
Smoke cigarettes.
That's the saddest move. On the back of your motorcycle, where you don't even get off. You just turn it off, and you just sit there.
Isn't there a video about that where he has the motorcycle and he's putting the baby on the back of the motorcycle? Isn't there a Swervy Jones video?
I'll watch him in peace. The motorcycle.
I would tell them, if your dad really loved you, he wouldn't have left us.
No, they'll know.
He just has other things he cares more about.
I'll do this weird gaslighting where I'm like, I hope you don't turn out like your mom. Your mom, she had so many boyfriends.
No, I'll be so fun. I'll let them play all the video games. I'll buy the biggest Costco TV. I'll have no furniture.
No, but that's assuming she's letting you take them. She's going to tell the judge everything.
I know the law. I'll tell the judge. I'm like, this lying bitch. I'm like, I'm fine. Unless they make me take a drug test.
I'll just have the kids tell them how much Daddy likes his beer.
The judge knows about beer. I like beer.
I like beer. Don't talk to judges about beer. They love beer.
I could probably lean on that.
That's terrible. If there's two things I know, judges, they don't like reproductive rights and they love beer.
and their buddies, Mickey and Two Toes. They like beer too.
Mickey, Two Toes, Black Joe, Little Jack.
So this girl says, Sarah says she's currently selling her first home that we bought.
And says your apartment have 100-inch Vizio with the new Grand Theft Auto.
I'll be blasting Tenacious D. I'll be like, I'll let you
all the horror movies.
No,
guys, get in here. We're gonna watch porno.
My boys would 100% come home and say, "Mom, Dad lets us do inappropriate things.
Dad lets us watch porno and eat burritos all day. It's awesome. It's fucking great."
Oh, they love that. Then they'll move in when they become teenagers. To the dad. That happened.
Yeah. And then you become
that happened with my dad.
You turn into Pauly Shore. Poof.
The teenagers always move in with the dad because they're tired of all the rules.
The rules,
And they turn into alcoholics.
And then you don't make them go to school.
Mom gives up a little bit too. Because she doesn't, because they do that move. Well, your kids wouldn't, but most boys will do that move where mom's a little scared of them, like pushing them down or something, Physical, and he's big like dad,
Unless, Crystal gets remarried, we get remarried, and then,
Well, that's a whole different
Who's my new husband going to be? I can't wait to see who he's going to be.
That ain't going to happen.
Your new husband
I can jack these things up a little bit.
Your new husband is Julio Jones.
Bobby Sibia.
Maybe.
So this girl this woman wants to hear any realtor horror stories. Have you seen anything wild? She
can't talk about it. There are listeners.
Right.
I have. I'll tell you what we saw.
Doctor confidentiality over here.
No, but haven't you seen stuff when you've shown houses that are not yours?
What was that flea house? Was that
oh my God! For the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
We saw when we were buying our house, there was a serrated knife.
No, it was a steak knife holding up the float in the back of the toilet. And I laughed. Oh, I loved it. I told Andrew we should buy the house just because of it. I was like, this is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen.
They had the top off. It was actually a house, if you take Lakemont all the way to your house, those ones that look like little German houses?
Yeah.
Back in there.
They have those long roofs that go down to the...
we almost lived in one of those little gingerbread. Can you imagine my short ass coming out with those gingerbread houses? People are driving to work. They see me walking out.
Oh my God, there he is!
Fucking Smurf!
He's taking his lunch break.
Love your cookies, dude.
Jim wants to know. This is a scenario. So Tony has invited the boys and their wives to visit his family in South America. So they're going to Venezuela. Tony pilots his Devalinhan Twin Otter DHC-6 straight into the Andes Mountains, and he is the only fatality. So we are alive, our families are alive, but Tony is the only person who has died.
Tony Monjet?
Wait, I'm confused.
So Tony's taking us to Venezuela.
Tony Rage is taking us.
Yes.
To Venezuela.
Chrissy?
Tony is a pilot.
Is Chrissy with him?
It doesn't say that.
Tony flies us into the Andes.
I kind of hope Chrissy's with him if we're in
Tony is the only death.
He's the only death.
Now we're in Venezuela.
Correct. Who turns to cannibalism first?
Oh, me.
Don't count Crystal out. She's got to make it home to her babies. Oh, so the kids aren't with us.
Well, nobody was counting Crystal out. Crystal will do whatever it takes.
Me and Daniel will be eating his ass cheeks quick. Like real quick.
That'd be the first thing I do.
Like the plane will still be on fire.
Yeah. I'd be roasting his dick on the fire. Hot dog.
Here's the thing. Are we going to get out of Venezuela anyway? Because if not, I'm
Does
just
anybody ever get out of Venezuela? Tony did.
I don't know.
So you need more details?
I need more details.
Well, I have thought about this.
I'm not going to be a cannibal, though. I don't know. I don't want to do that.
You will to survive.
Yeah,
I can't. Yeah, see, I can't answer that because I don't. Right now, no, I will not. I will.
You know what I would do is I would get with us and I would say,
mountains have
here's
food
what we
in
got to do. We have to be smart about this and we have to start offering up pieces of our body to eat, like each person, like we'll cut a little bit off and we'll all nourish her. That way we all
have
know
a whole dead body here to choose.
Well, we'll eat him first, but I'm saying once we get to eating ourselves, we offer it up. That way we're all in on it.
But you guys aren't going to start walking and seeing if you can find help?
No. There is
then
no help.
Die of infection.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to do a good old-fashioned wife swap. I'm horny. Nothing makes me hornier than a plane crash.
And eating Tony's butt.
Yeah. I was like, I need something to make me feel less gay because I just ate a man's ass, literally. So I'm going to need to pump someone else's wife. All right.
And it's not snowing, right? So he's going to start decomposing pretty quickly.
Well, if
in the Andes.
If it's snowing, you pack him in the ice and we got food for days.
Okay. Is that where the Alive movie was?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Right.
And then we could use his bones, his utensils to make shelter.
Oh,
you can make it.
That's kind of interesting. Hey, I appreciate the variety on that question.
They're just stoned.
Here is one of the last ones. If you could take a girls' trip anywhere together in the world, where would you go and why?
Oh, I think we'd have to come up with that together.
I would default to you to pick the place, and then I could then
Crystal's
go from there
a
and
lot.
plan. Yes, she has gone.
Yeah.
That's why I would say I would default
She's
for
got
her
the
to
knowledge.
pick.
You know where
I'm
to go.
almost tempted to go to a beach and lay around.
Yeah, but
because he doesn't ever want to freaking do that.
Yeah, I do this.
A friend of mine said she would go. She wants to go to the coast of Italy, Positano or something.
Positano.
And all she wants to do is read books.
Under the Tuscan
and she
sun.
said she would go by herself and just have nobody.
Hold on, not to sound like Tom,
her.
but you can read books here.
sorry. All the way to Italy.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm with Tom on
And
this one. I'm not going to fly to
limoncello.
Italy. Like, if we go to Italy, we're pizza.
I'm also
going
to meet an Italian man there.
Limoncello.
And then
eat pasta.
What does that mean? You're going to go on a girls' trip and cheat on me? If I said that, I'd be ridiculed.
I'm going to exhaust that Italian man.
Oh, my God.
What happens in Italy stays in
With your words?
To the moon! You guys are like the crammed it.
I would have Crystal pick where we're going, and then I'm just... I can plan some stuff, or we can just go along for the ride. If you guys were doing a boys' trip, where would you guys go?
Get to work.
No, the Nevada whorehouse.
I was just about to say Vegas.
Yeah. I would go to Chicken Ranch. You know what I want to do? I would go to Chicken Ranch. I'll drop my pants. I'd be like, have two girls on one side, one on each side, doing the corn cob and a high five.
Oh, my God.
Anywhere in the world.
And then I look at him, I go, fuck that guy in Italy, brother. You don't even matter. You don't even matter.
Well, I only picked that because you picked the Italy guy.
Well, if she didn't pick the Italy guy, where would you go?
You know what? I've been I've heard a lot of good things about some of these cities in Canada that like Toronto.
Oh, I love Toronto.
And
never been to Canada.
And I've never been either.
What would you do there?
I don't know, because I usually gravitate towards and this is if I'm going with Daniel, because instead of
we go
nature,
see some city shit.
because we're always going to gravitate towards nature with our family's trips.
So you're trying to do something different.
Yeah, and then
which is why I want to go to the beach with Andrea.
Yeah.
I heard Vancouver is very nice.
I think you and I could do like a version of exploring, like nature exploring, but decide to go urban and go like, let's check out the most monstrosities in, like, what's the tallest building? Let's go see the craziest shit.
Would you guys go to Dubai and go to the...
You know what? A lot of people have told me that I should not go to Dubai because you should not support something that is Dubai. But I don't even understand what I'm supposed to think of Dubai.
I'm just not interested.
I'm not interested for some reason,
because it's all fake, too. It's like it's built in a fucking
like if you manufactured it, I'm not as impressed.
Singapore, the crazy building in Singapore.
My number one is Japan. So I think you and I could go to Tokyo and rip it up because
I like seeing different culture.
A lot of crazy stuff. And lately he's been on a sushi kick, so that would be all right.
Also, speaking of Venezuela, I've talked to Tony about this a lot, and
I want to go to Venezuela.
And now, things have,
or is it rough?
Things have calmed down since a while ago it was real bad. But I think he said that you can travel there, but seeing that huge the Angel Falls, and then there's some the beaches are beautiful. There's some really cool places in Venezuela. Plus, it's cheap. I like the aspect.
Ecuador, I've heard, is great.
I like going to a place where the U.S. dollar still carries weight. We're so used to going to resorts where
that's why I like state parks.
You're paying
$3. And there's a waterfall that I'm like, well, where did we go? Emalakoa Falls. That was the greatest thing I've been to in the
Tumbling Waters was free
in the southeast. It was
in Georgia.
It was just in Georgia, but it's just this mega fall, and it's awesome.
But it's there are places in South America too that you go to, and then you can get ridiculous dinners and alcohol. It's your bill's $14, and you're just oh shit, I like that
Latin cuisine to me. If you could navigate the city in Venezuela and try all of their food, because I get a lot of enjoyment for that. That's not your thing, though, typically.
Yeah.
But I think I could bring you along for the ride.
Yeah. And I don't mind getting robbed. But
Dubai. You can flick the head of my dick.
Chat room said Dubai, no alcohol.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I have never been tempted to go see Dubai for any reason. It is ridiculous, what they've built
Phil
there.
Rollins,
but
before he went crazy and left, Phil Rollins said, never go. He said it's disgusting, and he's it's all fake. He's
built by slaves.
Yeah, he's it's just not a savory place. Yeah. Just no.
I don't really want to see the Burj Khalifa, right? That's what it's called. That's the tallest building.
Oh,
but again, probably built by terrible.
Oh, I'm sure. Without a doubt.
Yeah, so that's all the questions I had. Nice. The only other thing was, Crystal, you sent me a video about using an old school phone.
Oh, TC's going to get mad at this.
What is this?
I didn't mention it to him.
So, some influencer on her Instagram installed a old school phone,
an old rotary phone in their house.
Okay.
In their house,
up to the landline.
And their kids love it. And I watched the video and I was like, Maisie.
Well, they love it for the influencer video.
Maisie would not care, but one fucking bit.
But it's kind of a little exciting when the phone rings and you don't know who's on the other end.
Now, to go with you, I tried
but nobody calls anybody anymore.
That's not true. When we had a landline up to 2 years ago, we had a digital landline because we were using it for our security system, and then we upgraded our security system to go web only or whatever. They link it in so you don't even need the line. But when it would ring, true to what Crystal is saying, I cannot let them march over you. Maisie would get pumped. She'd be like, answer it, Daddy. Do a funny voice, Daddy. Do a funny voice, Daddy.
It's a scam.
And I'd pick up the phone. I'd be like, hello.
But
she loved
she's 9 now. I don't think she would have any interest.
Oh, she loved it. I would do whole skits.
I think younger.
Every single person calling a landline is a scam caller.
That's true.
It's an Indian call center. It happened to my Pop-Pop. I remember he still had a landline, and the phone would ring, and I'm like, don't pick it up. And he's like, I got to. And he'd pick it up, and it's someone trying to scam him.
This is the thing. Crystal Apiece in the chat room. My dad wants to wants us to get a landline so that we have other means to communicate other than just cell phones. I wonder if that's a safety thing. Maybe people feel like they need a...
But the landline is now through your internet, so your internet goes out, your phone is out.
Correct. So you would need it to be a real old school analog landline.
And I don't know I think Spectrum does not offer,
aren't they rolling out iOS, which is the Apple operating system? Aren't they rolling out satellite versions of iMessage? So that would be that's what we're going to get next.
Okay, so what does that mean?
I think
it doesn't go through the internet.
Right. I think it can bounce satellites, and that way you would be using it for international communications rather than just being locked to a certain. I'm speaking out of my ass here, 100%, but that's what I think it means.
Why don't you ask your do boy? Your AI do boy. But I mean,
it's not even up yet. I don't have it up yet.
Okay, let's take a break.
Does he know everything?
No. Well, he does if you ask him to scrape the web.
Have you heard his voice?
You got to ask him to scrape the web.
I really like
DJX, DJX we found out is in Daytona.
The real guy?
It's one of our listeners' brothers. Our cousin is DJX from Spotify.
Well, it's his voice.
Right. Yeah. But I what did you call him?
Hard drive.
What else did you think
Hard drive, the AI.
We know it's just his voice. What do you think?
He thought it was an AI guy.
No,
we thought it was
AI.
a computer-generated voice. We thought it was a fake voice.
Yeah.
Because they have that now, too. Because remember...
Don't you do what I do to
Yeah, but he just said, this so-and-so is the DJ X or whatever, and you're like, well, it's his voice. Well, of course, that's what we assumed.
Well, I don't know.
We didn't think he was actually a computer cousin. Like we knew it was the voice.
Well, because then when he said DJ X is my cousin, we were like, well, then it's not AI. I was confused.
Yeah, we thought the voice, like, I don't know if do you guys know the hubbub about Scarlett Johansson's voice?
Oh, there's something.
Yeah, so they used it for one of the AI voices on ChatGPT, and they weren't supposed to because apparently they approached her and said, "Hey, we want you to be one of these voices." And she said, "Nah, that's fine. I don't want to do it." They did it anyway. So that's why we have a big problem here because it's like you're stealing her sound, and
her
she
likeness.
said no, and you're like, "Well, we're going to create it anyway," or create a facsimile of it
so close
that it's getting a little dicier. Like, I know you guys hate the AI stuff, I'm just saying. The name of the artist is Bonnie Doon. The name of the song is Clock Keeps Ticking. And then after that, you're going to hear Arcadia Gray, which is a really weird song. We'll be right back.
Your AC right now is working. It is probably on all times, and your energy bill is skyrocketed because it's so hot outside.
Guess what I got this morning?
What?
Well, actually, it was yesterday morning. I got a text from American Air and Heat.
Yeah.
I know I've had some things replaced. I had an issue, but regardless of that, they're like, sorry, it's time for us to check your unit again. Like, they stay on top of it. Once you have these scheduled preventative maintenance, and you should, they stay on top of it. Whether it's a text message, whether it's a call from their people, I mean, they're not going to let you drop the ball on it.
Once American Air and Heat came in and I got a new system and new ductwork and I have a return in each room, it cools my house more efficiently. Yeah. And my AC isn't running at all times 24/7.
I wish we had that here. We don't control the AC here.
And if you have an old ductwork and an old AC, it's probably overworking and it's going to cost you a ton of money. It's not cooling your house efficiently enough. And so if 30 years have passed since they built your house, or whatever, 50 years, like, guess what? You have old ductwork. You it was designed in the 70s.
But you never hear of them limping along. Like, I never have a friend say, like, hey, my air conditioner will only run at like 76. It's okay. It's usually no. It's like my air's completely out and I'm dying. There's no such thing as that. So,
or get the preventative maintenance. If you have a problem, it's only a $90 system diagnosis fee. They will help you out with whatever you need.
Yeah, they're good folks.
Heating or cooling. It's AmericanAirandHeat.com.
All right. I love it when the ladies come in. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Thanks for being here, gals.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I always enjoy it.
So, a couple things. So, our friends, Andres and Lan, were staying with us for the past week. And their son likes to play Fortnite, right? We're just like a lot of kids, especially his age. How old is he?
He's 12, but 12. Our kids should not be playing that.
That is the game. I mean, right? Yeah. Like, that's the one. Maisie talks about it. She does not play it.
No.
Yeah.
It's not her age yet. I mean, she turns 9 tomorrow. She's still very much Roblox and then a few little independent Xbox games here and there.
And so Max got into it because then my buddy's son was teaching him about it. So he's,
Did you have any concerns about that at all? Or
no, but he's older. He's 12. So
he's a great kid.
He's such a good kid.
I think he's just he's the bomb. Yeah. He's the best.
I had no idea any of this was going on. So, I just found out. So I'll tell you how I found out. I was sitting on the couch, and then they were talking about Fortnite, and then
Riz.
One of them was like, oh yeah, Sandy Peacock, got second place or whatever. And then and then I started laughing. I'm like, Sandy Peacock, who's that? I'm like, that's Max's screen name. And I'm like, Sandy Peacock? So then immediately I got scared.
Did you Google it and
wait, why'd you get scared?
Because I was like,
it sounds harmless to me, man.
Yeah,
honestly.
but
Sandy Peacock,
the peacock. I was like Max used peacock.
Yeah, it's a cock with sand on it. I know what that is. It's got piss coming out of it.
Because I'm like, I started getting
a Sandy Peacock
because I was like Tenacious D. I was like, this is bad parenting.
Tenacious D has a new song. I'm rolling your cock in the sand.
Because I thought that Max had come up with that, thinking it was a clever way to mask the word cock.
Can I guess?
There are several people named Sandy Peacock.
Yeah.
Can I guess?
It's auto-generated.
Yeah. Because like my original gamer tag, like I had like one that was like quarterback melon, or it was like quarterback melon or something like that. But I was like, what is that? And it just gives you a name. Like it just sometimes they put a number on the end or something.
So
actually, he got a pretty decent one. Sandy Peacock's not bad.
I spent half an hour worried, figuring out how to tell Crystal, like, our son created Sandy Peacock because
he knows what sand, he knows what cocks are.
There's a plant called the Sandy Peacock.
Not really?
Oh. Yeah, I think you need to get it. It's called the Fanciful Peacock. Sandy Peacock Ginger.
Yeah, get your son a Sandy Peacock and support his Fortnite dreams.
So,
plants in Fortnite, dude.
Speaking of inappropriate words, I was running the other morning, and
are we telling sins? I have one.
And so I'm running down the sidewalk, and people tend to park their cars in blocking the sidewalk.
I hate is a pet peeve of mine.
Which
park
just
in the
run
street.
around it. And this is coming from me.
I do.
What if somebody has a wheelchair or something? They can't get by on the.
I just think
it's
so rude to block the sidewalk.
But normally I don't think about people in wheelchairs. Primarily I don't.
There's a person in our neighborhood who permanently blocks the sidewalk with his tractor trailer.
Is this the guy that backs in?
I don't care.
Why don't you guys?
Yeah. I mean,
you
if
should be able to call.
Everybody around you's got like 18-wheelers and Versus.
You can call, but
Castleberry.
Can't you call
it is an
code
industrial
enforcement?
area.
No. The vans are.
I would totally do that.
But you have to put your information. You don't. Yes, you do.
No, you don't. Do you? What do you put
I
in?
never did it for
in Seminole County. I don't know if it's new or if it's county, but
Seminole
you have
don't like
to
rats.
Give your information.
It says that
Seminole's thuggier.
So
building.
TC's like, let's just
We
go
only
talk
like
to
our
him.
rats inside.
Anyway, which
Somebody tell him for me.
also Crystal.
Put a note. You parked like an asshole.
No. Let's not start any problems with any of our
Who's starting the problem?
Apparently, it is highly illegal. You can't do it. And the chat room says you can no longer be anonymous.
By the way, I do it every once in a while. Crystal yells, she's like, quit blocking the sidewalk.
Well, we have street parking, so why wouldn't you just park in the street?
And then I proclaim, nobody cares. Yeah. But then I'm running the next morning, and I'm like, what the fuck?
All these people have garages.
And then I like getting mad at something that I do.
I do that
because
too.
I'm like, hypocrisy.
I do that too. I'll be like, get off your phone. I'll get my phone out. I'll text you. And
then I'm like, I'm doing what I'm getting back.
I love it.
Because then you have to run in the wet grass or something.
Yeah, right. I have to run around. So I do this a lot as I'm running.
How many handicapped people you see? They're like, oh, help, we can't get out. I just want to prove that what I'm saying is correct. It's an outlier.
So as I'm running around one of these cars, now I listen to my earbuds and I listen to punk rock. So I'm running, right?
Look at this guy.
Oh, angry running.
He used to do podcasts.
I can't anymore.
I changed that. I talked to him. We had to sit down.
While I'm listeing to punk rock,
a little lag wagon.
I often
pretend that you're on stage with him, rocking out, and girls are blowing you.
What? I will mumble under my breath the words of the song sometimes, right? And not aloud. Like I'm kind of singing along, but I'm doing it quietly. Well, I think it's quietly, but I can't really tell because the punk rock's blasting in my ear.
Is it Andrea quiet in a Mexican restaurant quiet? Because that's not quiet.
Well, I'll tell you they
didn't bring me my salsa.
She's loud as fuck, man. Like I always tell her, I'm like, shut the fuck
So I come across a car that's blocking the sidewalk. So as I'm running,
You're listening to Offspring "Bad Habit" right at that time.
That's good.
You stupid dumb.
I'm listening to No Effects, and the song is Liza and Louise.
Oh, great song!
And when the part of the song where it goes, I'll never forget the first time you kissed me. Now I want you to fist me. I often like that part, and then we'll say it under my breath.
Not all part you say.
Yeah. I know. Like, now I want you to fist me, and then so as I'm running around the car,
girl sucks horse cock.
Stop that. I run around the car, and then it's during that time of the song, and then all of a sudden a lady pops up on the other side of the car.
Oh, you're the rapist.
Are you shirtless?
And I'm shirtless.
Oh, you are the rapist.
Also, I'm like, did she pop up because she heard my footsteps?
Slap.
Or did I say, because it was during that, did I say, do you want me to fist?
Well, what if it was both? What if it was she heard the footsteps of a shirtless man yelling, I want you to fist me? and then I took my earpods. I ran and kept running shamefully. That'll help because it looks like you're guilty.
And then I started mouthing the words. So is this loud? Thinking
you're trying to talk to yourself to test your own level of hearing.
Yeah. And then
you're a different breed.
And then I can never run that way again because if I see this lady, it's going to be embarrassing, and that's the way I live my life. And now I have to run the opposite way every day. Now
just avoid your.
I like that.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
Does anyone want to hear the details of the dream I had?
Oh my God! No, come on.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want him to get mad. I heard this entire.
It's totally fictional.
I heard this entire exchange, and it's something.
Were you mad at him after the fact?
I was scared. I wasn't mad. I was really scared.
I mean, the whole chat room is begging to tell the dream.
Andrew, does Daniel tell you his dreams?
I tell him my dreams, but I'm never they're always really strange.
She'll go like, this is what happened. This is what happened. I'm like, I don't care.
But no,
that's pretty. I'll be like,
So
I just tell him I woke up with a Santana song in my head this morning, and he's like, okay.
Or you're like, I woke up and I was afraid that Dansby got loose. And I was chasing them through traffic. You had one or something. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. I'll just say, okay,
Max was telling me the details of his Rube Goldberg at school.
I love Rube Goldberg.
And it took a long time. And it was a lot of
detail or
yeah. And I was like, this must be what it's like when I describe my dreams to TZ. It's just all over the place. Nonsense. He's backing up to try to remember.
Isn't it cool, though, that you're able to remember vivid details of your dreams? I mean, I feel like being able to tap into that.
He doesn't feel anything.
No, I know.
But I wake up with the heart pounding and the wet eyes, and I'm like, I was actually experiencing that, but he doesn't understand that.
I can retell a story of something and then be there, and it'll activate my arm. I'll feel it.
Yeah.
And you could do. I think you could do that too.
Okay, so I need to know the dream.
Yeah. And by the way, as soon as you wake up and you realize your dreams was a dream, it should be zero to you. It shouldn't affect you long term.
No, but I experienced this.
Correct.
She's living it's a separate dimension. She's living in a separate dimension.
It happened to me.
Yeah.
But I realized
you say, what if it did happen to me?
No. But it
could be real though. What if it's a different dimension that we can only access?
By the way, she told this to her sister last night.
Wow.
After dinner, when she's sitting in the living room.
After dinner. That's harsh.
And I'm like, quit telling people this.
While they're having coffee.
Well, I want the chat room to identify my psyche, my subconscious, and they can tell me what it means.
It doesn't mean anything. It's nonsense.
What if I fed it into ChatGPT?
Ask it.
No, you can't even put this in ChatGPT.
You can do anything. I can do anything I want. I'm a god now. I can do anything I want. Every night before I go to bed, I write a new song about something dumb I like, and I hide them because the listeners hate them. I hide them.
And Crystal called me yesterday, and Daniel witnesses,
I was here.
And to tell me this right before we started the show.
But I will say,
I will sit there and take it. I'm like, okay.
I will say,
what do you want?
He did, but your response. Your response was that he laughed, but then I realized quickly that the laugh was like He's like, come on, man. Like, you should have laughed. Like, you like instantly like barf laughed at her dream. You got to give it a couple beats. So, yeah.
But I'm glad it actually made him laugh because sometimes he does this thing where he'll like give me a fake laugh or a yeah. Just to give me a response.
I fucking hate the yeah.
Yeah.
God damn, if I get one more yeah.
She's looking for a response, so I'm just going to, that's what the dream means.
The what?
Okay, we have to hear
I'm always looking for a response, and you're just blank. Like,
well, usually it's me cheating on you, and then you're you cheated on me, and then you act like you didn't care.
Yeah, that's the part that bothers me in the cheating dreams.
It wasn't me.
Yeah,
This is in your mind. You're crazy.
Okay, Shaggy Boombastic.
Hold on a second.
It wasn't me.
I believe in my heart of hearts, in my true self, that an unemotional person wouldn't care about cheating on someone.
No.
Because they don't care. They don't have any emotions about it. They're like, I'm sorry, it's just sex. It wasn't real.
No, I'm saying
in this case,
we're not talking about that. We're talking about the dream. We're living the dream right now.
No, we're not living it. You just thought of something crazy, and then it happened in your subconscious.
They want the dream so bad. They want the. Are you sure you want to do
this? So I came home, and there was a man in my bedroom, and it was not for me. It was for TC, and TC was like buttoning up his shirt.
Oh, that's right. You wear polos.
I came in like, what is this man doing here? Why are you buttoning your shirt? And the man was shirtless, buff, with like big red curly hair.
Yeah.
So it's Ronald McDonald.
No, it's like
buff Ronald McDonald.
Yeah. And then I was like, what is happening?
I love you so much because this is some shit I've been saying.
By the way,
goddamn, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here.
Crystal, tell me this. I mean,
thank God there's someone else like me.
We're at lunch break. We're trying to eat our salad. I got some shit going on. I'm trying to research fresh books. And then Crystal's telling me this. I came home and there was a buff man in our bed
with red hair.
I know. I asked you to know it was Carrot Top.
Then I'm like, okay. I have to listen to it.
No, but I had heard.
I shouldn't have to listen to it.
I gotta get you to the
So
good
was
part.
it Carrot Top?
No.
I had heard that he was blowing TC.
No.
Okay, wait.
So
because when he got off the phone, he's like, "My wife had a dream of some guy blowing me."
No. So I was like, "What is going on here?" And you're like, "Whatever. It's just a blowjob. Like it was just a blowjob." And I was like, "What do you mean? Who did it to who?"
And then he saw the trunks of props everywhere. He saw all of them. I think it was a windy girl hair.
No, it wasn't actually Carrot Top. But then TC, in the dream, he was like, "Well, I did it to him." And then I was like, "What? Oh my God.
It's cool. It's not gay if you do it to them." I talked to my gay friends. It's not gay if you blow them. That's the deal.
Oh, I got it backwards.
Because I was like, wait a minute.
It's fine.
If I don't,
oh God, don't cut that, Melissa.
Like, I don't give you enough blowjobs, so then you got some horny guy to give you a blowjob.
Wait a minute, that's what this means.
But it wasn't that.
You need to get more blowjobs.
It wasn't
that's what this means. No, that's what I said at the end of it.
No, he was giving...
I was like, if there's one good thing that can come out of it.
He needs a blowjob so bad, he's giving him out. It's a fucking sickness. He's like, help! I'll blow. I need blowjob so bad, I'll blow it.
Oh my God, it was so awful and it was so sad. And then I was like,
it made it worse that I was blowing him?
Yes, of course. Right?
I answer this honestly. You walk in and I'm blowing some dude.
Okay.
And I'm doing it good too, man. I'm fucking licking the up and down the shaft. I do the balls. I suck one ball, pop it out. I suck that thing. I'm like, do you even like that? And because I'm high on communication. I'm like giving a lot of communication. I'm like, do you even like that? And he's like, yeah, I like that. I'm like, popping them out.
But yeah. By the way, I would give a bad blowjob.
It'd be so wet and like drippy.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not trying. No.
You're not even blowing me. You're on FreshBooks in your mind right now, aren't you? Yes, I am.
I wish my wife would do this to me. That's why I'm doing it to you, sir.
Treat my dick like an invoice.
Call him sir.
So, was there any more of the dream?
Yeah, well, then I like this is the same theme in all my cheating dreams. Is it goes to me panicking, like, wait, are we like breaking up? Are you leaving me? Oh. And then he's like, I've realized that our long marriage has come to an end. And then
that sounds like him too. God damn, that sounds like him.
It sounds like him.
You started talking like Trump.
We've been married for a very long time. Get him a barrel.
And then I'm like, wait, it's over. And he's just like, yeah, whatever. I just like want you to stop talking. And then,
well, that part.
It's always like that. I'm like, please don't, please. And then he's like, I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. Goodbye. Like, it's like he doesn't care about
he's
what
made up
I
his
want.
mind. He's made up his mind. I've seen this before, yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you walked in, I'd try to hide it. I'm like, Ronald, hide.
But he has too big of shoes on, so he slaps the floor.
We're having a business meeting. McDonald's bought the show.
Yeah,
look at
he's
that.
a BDM. He's trying to fix a mini split.
He's trying to install an exhaust fan.
Yeah. I was just showing to the rowing machine. I love it. I was just showing how to use it.
It's sour cream.
He was on the ladder.
Product testing a new wrap.
Just know I'll try to lie.
No, he's on the ladder trying to install the exhaust fan, and his dick just fell in my mouth.
Wow. My God. Good Lord. I like that.
What? I couldn't take it that way.
I think that's great.
Like, I'll never admit it. Like, even if the cops are like, we know you did. I'm like, no.
We have a video of you sucking Ronald McDonald's dick.
I'm like, that's AI.
It's AI, not real. Beautiful dog.
I'll never admit it. And more people should do that. Nobody should ever admit it. And people think they admit it, like they'll go easier on them. That's not their case.
Oh my God.
Right. Wisdom
I'm just saying.
from Ronald McDonald.
That's fantastic. Oh my God.
It's a nonsense nothing.
It's a
Can we?
Why would you even think that?
Can you retell it? And now I picture
Also-
Carrot Top instead of Ronald McDonald because that is
Also,
just-
people look at, like, your sister looked at me different after, like, you tell
you
people
sucked the
that.
guy's dick,
No, I
dude.
didn't.
you suck Carrot Top's
That's in
dick.
her
But
mind.
you did it in a different dimension. You're
did it.
dimensionally gay, dude, and I'm sorry.
I actually just now got like sick in my stomach. Like
Yeah,
I imagined it
I
again.
did too.
I revisited it, and
I
I
did too.
felt
So do
it.
I, and Trump.
And not because he's gay, but because I didn't know who you were.
Yes,
You sucked Carrot Top's
Not
dick
because of anything you're
on his
doing. I
robe.
accept everybody for everybody, but you lied to me. You're gay the whole time.
Yeah, how long has this been going on?
How long have you been gay?
Why did you need
Yeah,
this?
why now? And
Why-
why
what
when she
couldn't
was
you
away
do?
showing a home?
See,
That's the
Trying to
in your
provide.
own house, you fucking
She's trying to
animal.
provide.
And you know what? Sometimes I think they do that in their own house because they want to be fucking caught. These monsters.
How dare you?
Yeah, you do it in the own home because so now we have to sell the fucking house, the place that our sons were born.
Yeah,
And you
nobody
told
can
the
live
boys to
here
go play
anymore.
Son of a
Fortnite, Sandy
bitch.
Peacock,
Yeah.
while you got your cock in your mouth.
Exactly. You got a fucking
How-
French fry cock.
how could you be emotionally affected by some imagination
Because
in your
what
brain?
if it happened? It could happen.
It couldn't happen. It's not good. It couldn't happen.
You can
It
emotionally.
could
No, in that scenario, anything could happen.
Listen,
It wasn't like it was she was flying.
Well-
It was a scenario that could happen.
Yeah, well, why
Who
don't
knows you better than Crystal?
Well, why didn't you have a dream about me being super romantic and then you?
Because that won't happen.
Well, the other one that never happens.
Yeah, but you avoiding my needs and wants does happen.
Yeah, well, I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe
Have
the
anything to
business.
do
Okay,
with
here's
me-
what I would say: is I would say Ronald McDonald's erect penis represents the business, and sometimes the business you'll suck a business cock here way before you'll give her
No.
the attention that she needs.
I think I had wine that night.
Yeah, okay, so maybe it was
so
just
that's
that.
what it
Yeah.
was.
You know, I don't believe
It was just
It
silly.
was just silly.
I don't believe any of the your dreams mean this nonsense. That's all made up.
I do think
bullshit.
that's true.
I think it can mean things, but I don't think it always means things
Yeah.
because much like you're saying, I think I have one beer and I toot my pen, I lay down, and I'm oh my god,
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of
it's crazy. in there.
we haven't been drinking this year very much, and I
good.
don't have the dreams. Used to be all my dreams were nightmares, but I don't really have dreams anymore when I'm not drinking. So I think the alcohol right before bed
Yeah, it's
probably
bad.
just makes me like a weird crazy person.
Yeah,
bad.
what is that nightmare disorder you have?
I don't know.
The
Don't you have the paralysis
Yeah.
where you wake
Oh,
up
hey.
and you're,
Oh, look.
and you're
Yeah.
in
Look.
it in your
Yeah.
AI says if you dream about your partner cheating can mean you feel neglected. You might feel like your partner is prioritizing something else in their
Ronald
life.
McDonald.
Such as
the money. That's big money. That's big money. You're sucking the big money. Give me that money, Ronald.
No.
You
come on.
also,
I mean that makes sort of. I mean, right? Business cock sucking
you
it.
also could feel cheated. You might feel cheated in some area of your life, and you were just, feeling left out by friends or something, and so then you put it into that scenario. You could also feel threatened or jealous.
So it could mean everything, is what they're saying. So, right.
Or it could mean you really want Ronald.
Well, there is that. That's the baseline. We didn't go there. Less probable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for embarrassing you a little bit.
No, it's just a funny story.
It's just a
fine.
weird thing.
Nobody can embarrass anyone more than me to Andrea, so you're good.
Yeah, it just it all seems ridiculous.
But it's funny how the different I feel them. I feel the dream, and I feel it all day. Like if
you're not a one of one. There are so many people that feel exactly the same way as you.
Yeah, but I just mean he doesn't feel the dream. He doesn't even know he has dreams or doesn't feel it at all or whatever. Like if I watch a movie that made me cry at noon, I will feel depressed the entire day
That's
until
me.
tomorrow.
You guys are very
Yeah, I do that.
But he doesn't feel it doesn't do that.
That's why I try to avoid the news after a certain point. I don't like going to bed reading really horrific shit. I don't like watching, this is how much of a pussy I am, but watching the Red Wedding of Game of Thrones before I go to bed. We did. And I was like, Andrea, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
You got to cleanse your palate after that.
But I was too upset to even do it because I was, at that point, in a show, I was probably the most invested I'd been in a show. In fact, that episode was so graphic for me that it may have changed the trajectory of me as a fan. I think... I'm so sensitive that I was I'm in, and you killed off people I like, and man, I don't know if I can go anymore with it.
Well, we had to stop watching. What's the Pedro Pascal show?
Last of Us?
Yes, we had to stop watching that. It was just too intense at night for us to...
Yeah, it's just I can't go to sleep now.
Yeah.
Or I can watch it at 9 a.m.
Yeah, but
and then I'll ride it out all day, or something like that.
Right.
Anyway.
When do I get accepted? Let me ask you guys this.
I accept you. Let's talk about it.
Crystal, because the best thing that ever happened to me is Tommy was born with the same affliction that I have, which is, less feelings, right?
Right.
And so he was born that way, just like I was, and I realized
What is called? Are you stoic?
I don't know.
Got to be a term for it because there's plenty of you. It's not like there's any less of you than there are of emotional people like me.
He is emotional. He just doesn't show it very easily.
Yeah,
that's true.
It doesn't affect me as much or whatever. It's very and I don't get emotional.
Does it feel like it's more buried? You think?
No, it's just things that, it's all pure logic to me. It's why am I going to get mad at this? I can't change it. Nothing.
Do you feel like you work? Do you feel like you work at that at all, or do you feel like
Andre said that too? But I think emotional people can't understand that because he was like, oh yeah, it's just how you're raised, or real men 80s or what you said. So I'm like, no, I was born. I saw Tommy was born this way. 100%. It's some sort of wiring.
Chat room says. Stoicism for sure. Yeah, I'd say you're pretty stoic.
No, but TC now with Tommy being who he is, he's an individual person. He's
Tommy
not
rules.
you.
He's so good.
But now TC uses that as a free pass or something. Can't do anything about it because that's how I was born.
Yes, I'm nothing can be done. Well, if other people can be born with the way they are, just I'm born the way I am.
That's true.
Well, it's annoying.
Ronald streams are annoying.
Bring it, Ronald. I don't think anyway. Oh, that's so funny. No, it is. It is weird because, what would you say drives you the most crazy with me? There's a person on Reddit that really bothered me. They said that, man, listen to Tom and Dan. Dan's gotten so goddamn neurotic. I don't know if I can listen. Somebody said that, and I was and I'm like, oh man, do I talk about my anxiety so much that it makes people hard to listen because it reminds them of their own anxieties? Should I keep that shit to myself? I don't know.
Stop reading Reddit.
Yeah, that's probably the better
No. I'm just throwing it out there for conversation. I honestly don't care. But what drives you the most crazy with me?
I think situations you make mountains out of what a normal person
I'm a mountain maker, see?
would say
I'm a hoarder.
Okay, that's not that big of a deal. It's like a hill, I'll get over it. But you tend to dwell and make it a really
can't get
big
myself out.
thing. Yeah, and I can't get it.
I can't get myself out. I'll be thinking about something.
Move on.
Yeah.
I can't. I feel it's so that's why when you say I can't, I get it.
Yeah.
That's the link. It's he says, I can't do this. And I'll tell him, I get it. I completely understand. I know I can't. It's hard as fuck to be human.
What's funny about that is I'm the exact opposite. Nothing's a big deal to me.
I know.
Weird.
That's why it works.
And Crystal will tell.
Thank God it works.
Like, feel this.
Somebody smashed into our boat the other day.
He was very calm.
And he's like, "That's all right, buddy. Don't worry about it."
We're all like,
"No."
Maisie started crying. Maisie started crying. Maisie was mad. Maisie was like, there was like an instant "How dare you?" and then a fists, and then.
Well, she gets into like. She just then put her head down and started cleaning up because that's what we were doing. We were cleaning up to go to another spot. So she's like, "Well, I'm going to clean this all up right now."
She just started going to work.
Yeah.
Get to work.
Yeah, no, we had a big 2 cracks on the dang engine, and TC's like, "I think it's all right, man. Don't worry about it."
No, I wasn't going to let him go. You said he'd pay me.
No,
I'm not going to make him feel bad and be like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
No, of course.
Or like
You could have killed somebody, goddammit.
I don't need to do
Killed
that.
your girlfriend, dude.
Yeah.
TC was in the damn water. I'm like this, and I'm yelling at the lady.
What's funny is I didn't, and this is a compliment to you. Not even remotely worried about him near the boat when the boat was coming in, because I'm like, I know he knows what to do. But when that lady hung over, and we haven't talked about this as much, but when her head was between the boats, I was like, holy smokes.
Well, her boat was in gear. Like, it was...
I thought it was just going to start going, and then she's going to hang her head between the 2 boats, and it was just going to go... And that's my ball noise from sucking ball. That's my Ronald ball noise. I used that for the lady's head. Do we need to get out of here?
Our kids wouldn't be the same if they saw that.
I did think about that for a second when they're all lined up on the beach and it was happening. I'm like, yeah, this is how you make a traumatic memory, right? Like you watch somebody have a moment.
Like, quick, put a towel over it.
Oh my God.
Always something.
All right. Well,
I think we've done the Lord's work here today.
Thank you all
ladies.
for having us.
Thank you guys for being here.
Have a great trip this weekend. Please be careful.
Did you even mention that, or do you want to? Or
oh yeah, we're taking the boat from Lake Monroe up to Lake George. I found out there's another spring up there I want to try called Salt Spring. BDM told me about it. So it's like awesome. North of Silver Glen, and in Salt Spring, I was watching videos last night. There's blue crab there because the boil goes through like salt deposits, and there's enough salinity in the water to support blue crab.
Nice.
Dude.
So there's crabs all in the bottom of that shit.
That'd be fun to even see. You know, like
that one is.
Just be careful over Lake George.
Oh no, we're rocking him through there.
Why? Why do I have to be careful?
Lake George is crazy.
Well,
isn't that where we've gone across on the houseboat? And
it can get a little weird.
Well, if weather comes through,
weather,
it's so big.
You know he doesn't care about weather. What the fuck are you saying?
Yeah, I'm a van. I go towards weather. Just see a storm, I'm attracted to it.
Are you going there? Whether I like it or not.
Just find a houseboat to pull you across.
Yeah. I remember that.
Ooh,
man, I wish you'd eat it. I wish if I'd have come up there and both of you guys are all in a human centipede pussy eating chain, and I'm like down there, and I was like, I was down there playing Xbox.
We talked about them the other day.
Yeah, I think that picture you put on the BDM page was from that day. I got horny when I saw it.
When I saw you guys, I was like, oh my God, that's when they almost did the pussy.
Oh my God. Andrea and I went to the front, and we laid down and put towels over our heads. Remember?
Yes.
God,
and then I went downstairs. Ronald was there.
The one guy.
And he went like this. He went, nobody can get that joke, but I made the M&M or the McDonald's M&M. Why did I say M&M?
I was drinking beer with the captain when he was had his buddy's wife on his lap.
No shirt on.
Yeah, she had her titties out. That's right.
And then it was Tiffany's in the hot tub.
Like I said,
that was a good time.
And then Tiffany's boyfriend called his mom the N-word. And we'll end on that note. You remember that? They called his mom.
And then
is that when we broke down?
And he called his mom the N-word.
Time we broke down?
Yeah. Then your dad came and saved us.
Yeah, and I threw my sandwich into the...
Yep.
And I was like, you better suck it up. My dad's coming.
Didn't your dad say, like, it looks like you guys are running a little loose here. You been drinking today, Dad? And I'm like, oh, no, Jim, I'm not.
Yeah. Who's driving here?
Who's that? That's Ronald McDonald. Don't worry about it.
Ronald McDonald later ran for public office, didn't he? The guy?
What?
Yeah.
He did. He did.
Boyfriend?
not the one on that from that trip.
And then he didn't win because they did some digging. They found out he called his mom the N-word.
Remember I found out like I was related to him?
Yes. Like Uncle.
The listeners we're blowing their minds right now at the end of the show. So many loose ends. It's like the Russians on The Sopranos. Remember, you guys didn't watch that, did you?
Yeah, no, I watched The Sopranos.
I wish that held up. Remember when the Russians went running and Paulie was trying to kill the Russians?
No,
and then they're like, where'd the Russians go?
It was so long ago.
Did we get them? And I think about the Russians like once a day. I think about what happened to the Russians.
Is that your Roman Empire? The Russians?
I didn't do the Roman Empire thing, but I do think very
what
much
is the Roman Empire thing. Like, I don't know anybody that actually.
Go. Get into the Roman Empire. No, it's okay. I mean, you can continue about the Roman Empire.
We got to get out of here.
No one really thinks about that, right?
No, that's internet garbage.
Okay, have fun. Bye.
Guys, thank you for listening. We appreciate it.
The Bart Merrick team, if you want to buy a house, Crystal Van, what's your phone number again?
Oh, yeah, 407-865-3863. Send me a text. A hello.
Yeah, send her a hello. She likes that.
Something friendly.
Introduce yourself and start your, your journey to a brand new home.
We got a brand new BDM show on Monday, a brand new ACT show on Monday. We got Vince Taylor and Bustecker in.
Yeah, so it's super fun. Bye,
full
Crystal.
Shows, and then we'll see everybody live on Twitch on Tuesday.
Hey, thank you for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome.
Love you so much.
I love you too.
Yeah, thank you for my car rental. It's really neat.
You're welcome.
It's like a super thing I would have never thought to do.
Enjoy your birthday weekend.
Yeah, it doesn't break the bank. It's pretty fun. I'm gonna act like I'm a big baller.
He's gonna clean up here and go and drive around.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy your weekend.
I will give it a shot. Guys, have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday.
Bye.
Oh, wait a minute. I can't publish that. It's mediocre.
I am so fucking tired of doing podcasts. I'm literally done with them. I'm not doing any more podcasts.